We're live. Okay. Good evening, all. Welcome to the Town Board Agenda Meeting for October 15th, 2024. Dane will lead us in the pledge. Please rise.
Pledge allegiance to the flag, States of America, and to the republic which stands one nation under God.
Councilman Morton,
Here.
Councilman Niles,
Here.
Supervisor Molino.
Here. Okay, we're moving up northwards. Be next.
Yeah, so.
Okay, so
To do-
northwards, whoever wants to come forward to do the speaking. Oh, this is both right. Oh, well, she already got it.
She also?
Yeah, she's all set.
Oh,
Yeah, we got the answers for Colleen.
okay,
Thank you.
thanks, Colleen. Okay.
This is Mike Colvin. How about you give me 10 minutes? Because
Sure thing.
Mr. Colvin was first, but he's here. So,
You can go first then. And yeah.
yeah, let him go first. He's not gonna take that long.
How are you?
You weren't here and I was moving forward. All right. You all know Mike Colvin. He's the IT guy for Warren County and he's gonna redo our whole,
Possibly, yes.
possibly the whole thing here.
Yeah, so the county's offering IT services now for any
Yeah.
towns that are interested.
Yeah.
So, you know, we have like everything in place for contracts and such. We're trying to fill a need, you know, the way we look at it, if the better the towns are protected, the better the county's protected. And so we feel we can fill a void where you get IT that you can trust and be cheaper than some of the other choices you have. So I guess, I don't know really where to go with this.
You have proposals with you on it?
Yeah,
To you. So,
Okay, I
but
don't have it
anyway.
with me. All right.
Mike, we've talked a little bit about what we pay Innovative
yeah,
and what you're saying 423 annually per user.
correct.
Okay. And that's billed, is that billed once a year, monthly? How's that billed?
Your choice of
Okay,
how you want to be billed. You want, monthly bill, an annual bill.
so 35 times, we have about 12 users, so.
And what we're doing is, we're setting up an environment. We review your environment. We don't want to just take over anything because our goal is to, if an environment's set up correctly, it really doesn't need much, but just needs to be set up correctly. So part of the deal is we review it and see if it meets the starting standards we want it to be. Because if it's troublesome, we don't want to spend a lot of time on it. We want everything set up right. So we would just review, like from what the little I know, because I haven't really worked on your computers a lot, we'd want to look at your closet needs to be organized a little bit, just make troubleshooting easier.
Mm.
And usually when all that stuff is set up, it eliminates all the issues.
Yeah.
And
We've been
once-
having a lot of trouble the last couple of months, so.
Yeah.
Again, we've had trouble.
Okay.
And this would also include, or would this be extra, the email situation we talked about?
So that's different. So the world's changing with Microsoft licensing. Like it or not, I call them the biggest crack dealers because they give you everything for free, then they charge you a little bit more, and now you have to pay to use their products. Like it or not, and so does that you switch, use a different product. But everybody's invested in it. The nice part is when you use they call it Office 365, means you pay every 365 days. But it provides email.
But is that the .gov deal?
That's
Or is that different?
that's kind of different, but it all comes together. So right now your email is at your Roadrunner addresses, and it's not a requirement yet for you, but eventually it will be that you use a .gov. Anybody can get a .com, a .whatever, and scam people and say, hey, this is the town clerk, pay your water bill here, and I can make an email address and a site that looks good. Whereas the public's being trained to say it's a .gov because you have to go through a background check to get a .gov.
So approximately how much is that for the board?
So the $24 per person per month gives you your Microsoft licensing. And what that does, it gives you up-to-date license for Word, Excel, and Outlook and the PowerPoint, the Microsoft package. They don't charge extras to host your mail. And so that's where we can tie the .gov in and give you an official name to use that the public's being trained to kind of use. And eventually they're going to come down and say, you need to use that, like cyber insurance. If you don't follow certain standards, like a .gov and certain things, they aren't going to do
Yeah,
it.
I mean, Lynn and I went to conference in April. They were talking about the .gov accounts and how important that is going to be to eventually get that.
Yeah, this year it became a requirement for counties. Last year was a requirement for boards of elections. And it's just coming downhill. And it's the right thing to do for what they're doing. So you might as well be ahead of the curve. And by doing the Office 365, your office applications are all up to date, which is another thing off your cyber checklist. Is the software you're using up to date?
That would be our Word and all that.
Word, Excel, the
Okay.
things you're using every day, the things people are manipulating.
So that's about approximately $444 a month between the IT service and the Microsoft with the email and all that.
Correct.
Okay, when we're paying like 9 something, we're still having a lot of trouble.
And you're probably not getting licenses out of that,
No.
a good email server. And what we're requiring is, cyber training. Put the money where protection is. Sometimes people are putting things in place for you that isn't money well spent. They're protecting things nobody's attacking.
We got it for like, so it was 1,500 just to get the email set up, but the .gov account you said is like $20, right? Or
So
something
to
like that
register the
get it
name's
set up.
$20. Yeah, it's just an application process that I can kind of do in my sleep now.
Kind of give you guys an idea.
So if we go ahead with it, our actual contract would be with the county?
Yes. Yep. Yeah, because there's no, I used to work on, it still do work on the side and such, but long term, like when I do work on the side, it's a low price. And the county's going to be more what I would have done. However, it's not really the right way to go because I'm getting older and I'm one
What are you,
person.
different than the rest of us?
Yeah.
You
I've
want
been
to
out
be
of,
glad that's the case.
yeah. And I've been out of town the last 2 weeks, a lot last 2 weeks. So where does that leave you? So I think it's just the best thing for towns to be under the county umbrella. And it's not like the county's just nice bunch of nice people. The better the town's protected, the better the county is. It's just we work together. It's just better.
No, that's the right thing. It's
If
the
you
right
said
thing.
there's more than one person, if
Yeah.
you're not available, somebody else.
We have a
Okay,
staff of
but
9
right now
people.
it's-
Yeah. And I find, because I'm very familiar with majority of the towns, everybody's doing the same thing. Once you get one figured out and set up right. And I've been into other towns and straightened them out to what I think should be there. You hardly hear from 'em. When you set it up right, there's not much to do.
Are you familiar with this system in
Yeah.
here?
Sort of,
Yeah,
I've
basically.
seen it, I've played with it a little bit because you've had other IT people in charge of it, but I've kind of seen it. And so, and then the expertise of the county, like, buy computers, most people don't even know what ag buy is, but you'll never find a computer cheaper, but you wouldn't be familiar with that, at the town level and all the things, all that you wear too many hats. But at the county, be like, oh yeah, we do this and get you a computer at half the price. Not we get it, you be buying it, but we know how to get them. And everything's standardized and so long term, it just saves.
I think it's the best thing. And that's just my
And Mike
opinion.
also helps with our security system, which we're going to be working on too.
Yeah, that's getting outdated. You're starting to, because it's been here long enough, it's starting to fail. And I would suggest, updating it to something that we also use at the county. So we have people already familiar with it all.
No-brainer.
It's a no-brainer. The only thing I don't like, I have to change my email. I only had it for 19 years,
Yeah. It's like changing a credit card number. It's a pain, but you can reduce spam for a while because nobody will know the new one for a while.
All right. Dane, how you
So-
feel?
It makes total sense to me.
All right.
Do you guys want to do you all have a copy of that proposal contract? that
I
gave
don't
you a
have it
while
in front
ago?
of me.
All right, so I would suggest, I would give you all another copy tomorrow, I'll email it to you. And then, if you decide to go ahead and switch and get this agreement, we can do that at the next meeting.
Yeah, let's put it on the agenda.
All right.
Okay.
We got a meeting in 2 weeks from now, so.
Yep. Yeah. And so how it would work if you wanted down the road, we take a review. And I think there's some things that need to be updated. It's got to be done first, but we would make that part of, okay, sign the contract, but under conditions that we did some organization, a few things that we think need to be updated, that's all. But stuff that's just gonna save you in the long run.
Will there be kind of like an emergency phone number?
Oh, yeah, there's, let's see, he's got it. I think you have it. I know you've got it. I'll give it to you. Well,
We
yeah,
got, he's been doing for years, working
Yeah,
part-time
we're-
on the
we're-
weekends,
yeah,
doing odds and ends that break down. He takes care of it.
that would make,
Now we're getting it official because people were saying he was, I'll use the phrase double dipping, but he wasn't working on county time. He was working on like Saturdays. I'd open the door from at 8 o'clock and we'd take care of it.
Yeah.
Now it's, county wants to do it and we're gonna move over and let the county do it. That's all. Simple as
yeah,
that.
there's
That'd
always
be
a
cheap.
way to find a phone number for any people in IT. Yep,
All
for the
right.
county, yeah.
Thank you. Thank you for coming.
Sure.
Yes,
Anything else?
just tell all of you again for you to look over.
Yeah, and any questions, just call. Yeah.
All right. Otherwise, we might see you in 2 weeks.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thanks, Mike.
Thank you.
Sure.
All right. I'm sorry. I apologize for that. You're next.
Matt Fuller with Meyer, Fuller and Stockwell, attorneys for the Northwoods Association. Just come in, I had a call a week or so ago. Some, I guess, differences of opinion or ideas on how to get from point A to point B. So I figured I'd come and I talked to Mary. We were working on resolving that old easement. The town board probably remembers the easement was so broad that it encompassed the entirety of the Northwoods Association land holdings, even though it didn't need to. So we've gone back and forth with a couple drafts. I think that's, from my standpoint, I think a low-hanging fruit. That's a easy thing for us to accomplish, but just here to answer questions or whatever we can do to help advance it.
You wanna walk?
I don't know what there is to talk about. I mean, I think that we're moving forward. But if there are concerns, maybe.
We'll
Our
do that.
original concern was whether or not we have to be on the budget at all. And
I don't wanna-
had a variety of answers to that question, so.
That's kind of a town board decision. Yeah,
This is not my expertise, but it's my understanding that you don't have to be in the budget. That's the whole point of bonding it.
yeah, the big part of the project will obviously be bonded at some point when I think if the town board goes forward with the map plan and report that we presented, you hold a public hearing to advance those costs, get an engineer on board, whether it's CT Mail is the engineer that we use, whether them or an RFQ, if you put it out to somebody. And then once they get an updated engineer's estimate, then that would form the basis for a public hearing on a bond resolution. And then the town board can have a public hearing on the bond resolution. That, I think, Rose, you had asked me a question about budgeting and whether the town, whether you need to have it. That's a policy call for the town board. Obviously you're incurring expenses right now, right? So whatever Mary's time goes towards this project ultimately has to be billed back to that district. And since it's a district that's already formed, generally those expenses have to be repaid in the same fiscal year. So that it's up to the town board in terms of, if you guys wanted to put 5 or 10 grand or whatever you wanted into that budget line item for that district, legally you could, right? And then you'd have some money to cover the town's expenses for what publication of resolutions and things like that, that right now the general fund is covering. And ultimately you're probably going to present a bill to that district. It's your right, big right pocket, giving a bill to your left pocket of the people in the district, but the district's going to pay for all those expenses. It's
So-
not something the general fund has to pay.
You're totally right now, other than what you just spoke about, you're looking for 250,000 to be bonded.
That was the rough engineering estimate. That's probably a year old now.
Okay,
I think again, as you get going,
then it's more.
right, they'll update that. I mean, the good news is from a project standpoint, project costs haven't continued to skyrocket this year. They've gone up, I think, a little bit with inflation, but nowhere near what we were seeing in 21, 22, 23. So hopefully the project will still be in that ballpark.
All right.
250 or
The whole
so.
point is, we're not, you don't have to be in our budget to do this. That's what got everybody nervous when we said it's not in the budget.
Yeah, no, it's only if the town wanted funds on hand
Yeah.
to be able to pay
So we'll
bills.
work with Mary on what, but we'll have to get the engineer to figure out and give us another
Exactly.
estimate price
Yep.
and figure in all the others, and that's what we'll bond. And the town will back it. I guess that's the word. We,
And if you, on the cost side too, I offered to Rose, if you guys want me to draft anything to send to you, Mary, that'll be on the association's dime, because they're paying me directly.
Mhm.
Just shoot me an email, or I'm happy to draft whatever you want. If you want all the hearing notices, a package of everything, I'll draft it and send it all to you. It's your call, but
okay.
I don't want to step on Mary's.
Mary says we don't need it. That's
Yeah,
it.
good.
Yeah, just we usually do.
Exactly, right. We've all pretty much got the same, there's
right.
nothing hidden in these proceedings, really.
I have one question, kind of a big one. One of the things that it kind of seems to me is the pace that this has been happening is what, slower than desirable.
Yeah.
So being a veteran project manager for 45 years, I want to ask, can we agree on a rough schedule to accomplish certain milestones? So
I think absolutely, from our standpoint, from the association standpoint, we'd love to see the town board as soon as possible, call for a public hearing on increasing the cost of improvements, right? Because you already have a district. Your public hearing would be to increase the cost of improvements for that district at the budget estimate. You don't have to get an updated budget estimate now. That map plan report, you could go forward with that right now.
do you
call that
agree,
public-
Brad, that there's an existing district, because that was an issue months ago.
Yeah, I believe there is an existing district. I thought the issue months ago was whether or not the town owned it or had any rights to it.
That was another issue.
Determined
Right.
do.
That was a wormhole we went down, all went down.
I mean, I cannot promise a timeline at this point because I'm not the bonding attorney in our office.
Sure.
He's partially retired, so I mean, I do what I can, but I can only push so hard.
Yeah, well, we'll get it moving.
I can push Bob too.
No, that's great.
I just want to make everybody settled that we're going to
Yeah.
take care of it.
Because realistically, to answer your question, with projects, even for projects I'm working on for next year right now, we're in the window right now to try to get those things out to bid. Late January, February is the best time to bid these municipal projects. This isn't a huge project. Somebody will be in and out, probably a month, 6 weeks on something like this. But to get it in line for next summer, I think from the association, we'd like to see those proceedings happen, December, January. Hopefully the engineer, they've done a bunch of work. I don't know what their time frame is on turning around plans and specs, probably 60 to 90 days, getting permits. You're quick probably into trying to get it out to bid, maybe May or June if you're lucky, to try to get it done before the close of season next fall. So as we sit here, I think you're tight getting it done for 25.
And you have CT Mayo, you said.
Yeah.
They're a good outfit.
Yeah, the permits and things like that hopefully won't be huge, but that all takes time.
But if I'm not speaking wrong, once you get all that done and we get the CT Mayo, give you a rough idea of the project, that's when we'll set a public hearing.
Part of the bonding process.
Yeah,
Walk
Okay.
you through it. We're just not there yet.
All right. I think we're set. Sorry, we don't have two people here, but we were all pretty much, the whole board was moving in the right direction to help you.
yeah. No, that's great. Whatever we can do.
All right.
And
So
I'll
we're just
certainly
waiting
poke
for our
Bob a little bit.
attorney,
What's that?
our bonding attorney. That's what we're waiting for right now.
We're gonna start the process.
Mhm.
Yes. The
Yeah.
things that I've given him that he needs to now see in order to draft all those resolutions and everything.
Before we can move forward.
I'll do my part to politely move that forward.
Okay, well, thank you very much. Sorry for all. the
No, anytime.
rigmarole, but
When I get it, when Mary and I are talking about things, we've done these dozens of times. We know how that process works. You guys, you don't have to do it every other month. So if somebody says you need money in a budget or something, what do you mean? We're gonna borrow all this money. We're not gonna do it. So whatever we can do.
all
Happy to
right.
help.
Thank you all.
Yeah.
And if you're over from Northwood, thank you all for coming.
Thanks. Good. Sounds like
All right. We need a resolution to pay the bills, abstract for the 20th.
Resolution to pay the bills of the 20th abstract of 2024 is presented. Vouchers, the general fund vouchers 3963 to 3993 for 24,509.63. Highway fund vouchers 3994 to 4013, 145,724.40. Lake Luzerne Water SW1 vouchers 4014 to 4016, 3,843.15. And Hudson Grove SW2 water vouchers 4017 to 4018, $380.
I'll make that motion.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, carried. Proposed resolution to move the tentative budget to the preliminary stage and to set the public hearing for November 4th. And I don't know if you want to do 6 or 6:30.
Is 6 all right with you?
Yeah, 6, all right with you?
Yeah.
All right, so you have, nobody has questions, we went over all that, everything moved the budget, this, we presented it last week,
So
We
do
have to,
make a motion.
do something formal to,
Yeah, make a.
You
mo-
have to make, you have to make a resolution to move it to preliminary and set the public hearing.
okay, can we combine those or do you want them separate? Oh, I make the motion that we
No, that's
accept the
fine.
tentative budget, move it to preliminary, and that we set the public hearing for November 4th at 6 PM at the town hall.
I'll second that.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, carried. Possible resolution allowing for additional funding of $1,000 for the Lake Luzerne Chamber of Commerce for their upcoming holiday season.
It's coming out of OCTAX money.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none, carried. And then for the November 4th meeting, we need resolution to pay bills. Approve minutes. I emailed you Mountain Medical contract for 2025 and Northeast Fire Protection contract for 2025. So we'll need resolutions for those. Now on the budget schedule that I had given you previously, I had put that you can, adopt the budget November 19th. But if after the public hearing on the 4th, you know you're not gonna change anything, or you can do it at the regular meeting that night. You don't have to wait till the 19th. I just wanted to let you guys know that. Okay, and then we'll have the IT contract for the county. And that's all I have.
Now, those things you emailed us today, did you put a copy of my?
Yep, I did. I did make a couple of notes that I wanted to let you know about. It came up, did we post for the court officer's position? We did not. Judge Gillis came in, him and Judge Hayes are working on the ad, but he doesn't want it posted until they have confirmation of the grant. So I just wanted to let you know that. And then I talked about the budget changing when you do it. Okay. And I emailed the playground flyer to Jamie and she was gonna work on it today.
Let me follow up on that. Yeah,
Okay.
we got, from the printer Thursday or Friday last week, a poster and a little handout flyer for playground funding. And there's a few copies right over there. And there's a box of each in the office, just outside of Colleen's, office, if anybody wants copies. Basically, the information on the poster and the information on the flyer is the same. It's just that one is small, designed to be handed out. As soon as we get it posted on the website, that'll kind of be the official opening of the fundraising effort. That's it.
Right, just one question about what the judges, you said about the judges, they don't want us to look for help until they get.
They don't want us to post anything until they actually get confirmation of the grant.
We got two.
We've got 2 applications
that's right.
already, but we
Well,
haven't
people
even
haven't-
posted
yeah.
it yet.
All right.
Yeah,
That's encouraging.
we do have 2 applicants already.
You gotta get it out early because you're not, you know,
Well, they just don't want us to put the cart before the horse, you know, they're pretty
we got the
sure,
horses ready to go. The cart's gotta move.
they're confident that they're gonna get their grant, but he doesn't want us doing anything until they get that confirmation.
Okay.
Wonder why.
I don't know. That's
If he
okay.
doesn't get it, we don't hire him. I guess we gotta respect his opinion.
That's up to you guys. They're working on the ad. They haven't even given me that yet, so.
All right.
I
Anything
have
else?
one other unrelated thing. You want to take 10 seconds?
Go ahead.
I was over at the transfer station today and, Brian wanted to remind me that they're gonna need a truck. F-350 small dump truck, and it's my understanding that we're working.
We're working on it. But he's got to get us the specs.
Okay.
What they're
you want
looking
me to
for.
touch base with him?
Yep, you can. I talked to him too today. He's mad at me because I didn't put it in the budget.
Did
You know, when you don't get specs and you don't follow through, it's tough.
you ask him for specs?
No, I didn't.
Okay, I'll ask
He
him
was
for
mad
that.
at me, so I didn't want to talk.
He was a little feisty when he approached me too.
Well, they just felt we left it out. We didn't leave it out. We talked, Colleen and I, we talked it over. If we get
Yeah.
the specs, Ron knows what we go through. He gives it to us, we'll put it out and we'll borrow the money.
I'll
And
press
have
for
it one
those
before, because he's
specs.
not gonna get it. Maybe if he's lucky, he might get it this year.
Do you have a set of canned specs, Ron?
Not for F-350. No. For an F-100.
They're looking for a small one.
Yeah, we need a small one.
Okay. I'll talk to Brian.
I'd also go to these dealerships, because some dealerships can get it on state contract, so.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You
hoping.
won't have to, yeah.
Well, we could send it out to the dealerships and once we get it, specs what we're looking for.
I would just look for a dealership that is on state contract. Then you don't have to worry about bidding it out or anything.
All right, well, we have to get what he wants before we
Yeah.
go looking for it. Anything, Dane, got anything else? Go ahead.
Dane, you had asked the supervisor to sign a contract for the feasibility study, right, for the trails?
Yes.
I would just recommend ratifying the signature on that contract. Because although you guys accepted all the specific costs and everything, no one actually made a motion to authorize you to sign the contract.
I thought they did.
Oh, I thought we did.
Right, when I talked about this, and you said they did.
I signed the contract.
It's-
Oh, you told me.
I said, go ahead and sign
Sign
it,
it,
and then
okay.
we pass a resolution ratifying his signature.
So I can do that now?
I'll
so-
second it.
Alright, so what should it say?
Motion to ratify the supervisor's signature on whatever that contract was called.
You lost me for a minute on that.
PM. Proposal, recreational assessment for trail development.
I know what,
I make that motion.
You want this one?
no, I got it.
Well, what did we vote on?
To spend 10 grand.
Yeah.
This guy.
But I know that.
But not to.
I
execute
thought
the
we did.
Agreement.
I thought we voted to authorize you to sign that. I know that's what we
No,
meant.
I went back and listened to it and
It's mushy.
it was just about the money.
Okay.
I
So,
think you authorized spending the money.
They
but
did.
Just in case the state audits you and they say you don't have a
Okay.
resolution to
It's just-
sign.
okay,
Now you do.
We're talking procedure, so let's get it
Yeah.
right.
so Councilman Morton and Councilman Niles,
Yes.
all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried. Okay,
You done?
We're done, because if I didn't say anything, then you can't, then we're going through.
I would just ask for an executive session to discuss ongoing litigation.
Okay.
None. Do you?
Oh, it's fine.
That's fine, that's fine.
So.
You have the
I-
wording.
The only thing I got is, so the board members know, there is a beaver dam being built underneath the Silver Bridge. Before I can take that out, I got my trapper
I was waiting for a nuisance beaver permit. The guy's been on vacation, so I just got that. So we're gonna trap it and then we'll pull the beaver dam. I'm sure that Lori will probably get calls
Yeah.
soon or already have, so.
I haven't yet, but yeah,
Really?
we will. Okay, so a motion to move to executive session?
Wait, I have
Oh,
a couple
yeah.
things.
Okay,
I just wanted to let you know that I was contacted by the folk school and they want to have a meeting just to go over the redesign of the classroom buildings that they were proposing before. So I've set up an appointment on the 28th of October and I have asked Jean and Jim if they'd like to be part of that. And I'm going to get Chairman Karimsky of the planning board in on that as well. And just to see what we need to do, if anything, for that. The other thing is in your packet, I put in your, I think Lori put in your mailbox, the report for the campground mobile home parks. I have to do that once a year so that we can renew their operating permit. I've done that. Surprisingly, I did not have one that I had to contact this year with an issue. So I'd like to be able to go ahead and send out those letters and bills to those people. I just need your approval to do that. You don't have to do a resolution, just okay it.
We're all in favor.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I wanted to let you know that they were okay this year. I didn't have an issue with any of them. And that's all I have at
What
this
time
point.
on the 28th, Karen?
10 o'clock.
I got the email. I'm fine with that.
Okay.
You want me to send you an email?
Yeah, I think you did. You said yes.
Mary, I do have
Did I say that much?
we talked about asking Kevin. Did he get back to you? Okay. No, that's fine.
motion.
Are we done?
Executive session.
Yeah, I make a motion, we go into executive session for.
Wait a minute.
It's the agenda meeting.
It's only agenda meeting. Comments.
I make a motion, we go into executive session for the purpose of attorney-client privilege. And
Executive session to discuss ongoing litigation.
That's what I have.
and when we come out of the session, we will be conducting no further business.
No second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Hearing none carried.